Hey everyone, so today we have this is the a1707 15-inch MacBook Pro with a touch bar, and yeah, so it's here for the cracked screen. This one, I believe, is a 2017 year model, and we're just going to be doing a cracked screen replacement for it. It's hard to see it, but it's there, and you can press a little bit, you can see, there you go. Yeah, magic. So when you press here, you can see obviously there's a crack underneath the screen. It does turn on. A good indicator too, if you do ever have a cracked screen and you're not sure it's just a cracked screen and you make sure it's turning on, good indicator is actually this caps light lock. See that? And if you hear the chime, usually that's just a problem with the screen. If you're not sure, sometimes the cables can go under here. These can go bad. We do have other videos about talking about the cables here and on how it's a very common issue that it can damage the screen if you have like an earlier one, like a 1706. And that's a 2016 model of this, and it's 13-inch. That can have a problem with the cables there. This one obviously is a cracked screen, but go ahead and check out the other video about the stage light if you have like those little dark lights that actually do go throughout this whole thing. Go ahead and check out that video. We do have one uploaded on our channel as well. But this one we're just going to be doing a screen replacement, so let's just get into it. So I'm going to take it to the back there, and we just going to remove the bottom screws. For this, we like to use a little bit of a suction cup to get underneath because there's latches that actually do go on each side here, as on the left and the right side. So if you want to lift it up so you can put maybe a little pry tool, or you can put your fingernail, whichever you want. This will make it easier. It'll come up there, you hear the cracks on each side, and this will lift. So you have this little center gap like this. Once you get that up, this is put over latch here. You can just pull, it'll come off just like that. Right, and the side too, obviously. There we go. So there's little latches here. Well, you can't really see them here, but they do connect here, and these are the two little pops that you heard from before. So we want to make sure we remove the battery here. Let's take it out. There's a little connection here, and we just kind of pull a little cable out. You want to be really gentle, it's easy to damage it. Okay, that's it. And that's all you have to worry about for the battery. Okay, and there is a cover here. So I lifted a little bit there when I moved it. Alright, so that's off. There's two covers. So the main cover for this one, small one, and then you have the main cover that protects the connection here. So we could just use our fingernail and lift this up, and it'll come up like so. You see that? There we go. So that's up. We're not too worried about that anymore. Now we want to remove this. This is the Wi-Fi antenna because this part's going to have to come up with the LCD. So we can take off the Wi-Fi antenna connection. Go just like that. I usually use like a flat. Again, this is very easy to damage. So it's very easy to damage any of those there. So you want to just be really, really careful when you do remove them. Okay, and we want to take out, there's one screw holding those in. So I'm going to take that out. I'm actually surprised the first screwdriver I've used worked here. Sometimes I go through a few of them to find the right one because they're all like the same. Okay, actually I think I can keep using this one, and now what we want to do is these here. This holds it in. Not that screw. Right when I said it too, huh? To use the other screwdriver we just had. And they're a little bit longer screws. They do come out. Okay, there's two on each side. You just repeat it, and they're unique. All these ones are going to be really unique to where they go. We'll talk a little bit more about the Wi-Fi one in just a bit. Okay, that there, and now we want to remove these. There's 2 and 2. These are very important because when you put it back, these need to be very perfect. Wait, it's the very unique screws. So there's 2 that go on the bottom here. On each side, you can see there's 4 black screws and 2 on each side. So this will be the far left. You always want to keep them in order. And this will be, or my far left, I guess you're right. So, and then the middle, and then the middle too. Here, and here. And what that's going to do is you can see the board's loosening here, where this goes. Now, depending on what screen you have, you might have these covers, you might not. Some come included, some don't. So it really just depends. But you can see this is free. So we're still not done yet because we have to remove this part and then we have to remove the covers here. So let's remove the covers next on this side. Oops. Okay, 2 screws and this lifts, just like that. And then same thing on this side. Two screws and this lifts too. Alright, now what we want to do, the fun part is we have all these little screws to remove. Let's just do that. They're easy to strip, so make sure you have a very accurate screwdriver to do it. Alright, so that came up. Now what you want to do is you can grab the sides. There you go, now you guys can see. So you can grab the sides of this. I like to go with my fingernail underneath the little black part of it. You can lift it up. So make sure nothing else is really connected, just to double check. You can lift it up this way, so bend towards you, because this one is up a little bit there. You see that come up? Just be really careful. You'd feel a little bit of a flex, and this will start to come out, like so. All right, and this is what's this is the Wi-Fi antenna. Obviously, I guess you could see the Wi-Fi cables. But okay, so this is out, and this is loose. And you can tell this is actually part of the board. You don't want to damage this cable, or you want to be really careful, because otherwise you have to remove the board. And it's easy, you can replace it. It's pretty easy because it's just another connection on the other board, but it's just another step in the process here. So we'll remove these on each side. There's 3 screws, and then it should be good. Okay, now this side. This has been opened or tried before. I mean, it's a little bit older, so maybe it hasn't. Okay, so you just want to always double check, make sure nothing's being tangled, nothing is still screwed in, because you don't want to try to open this and it's not going to open, or it's caught on something. So what we want to do now is just remove the screen, because it's done. Basically, what I like to do, I just like to bend it, because it makes it easier, bend it on the sides here. Right, so we just pull it up very gently. Just go slow. Well, you can see our nice light there. It's not helping a whole lot, but it's it's there. You know, our helpers help in ways. We hope so. We got those two big lights you guys can stare at. But yep. So you can just lift it up, and just make sure nothing's connected, and you just lift it gently. And there's your removal of the screen. And what we're gonna do now is just do the reverse. So we got our new screen. Looks really good. Okay, we're just going to reverse it. I like to put these down a little bit more, so it's easier to latch them in. And then we'll just hug this one. We should know the cables are on the other side of it. There we go. Okay, and this will just drop down. So I push these in as I go down. These little edges here on the side, like that. Okay. Oh, and you can see that this one actually didn't come with a cover here. So what we want to do, actually a good example then. So what we want to do is remove the old one, because it did have a cover. So it's just a little shielding that protects the little backlight cable. So let's just put this to the side for now. Let's go remove our old one real quick. Just this right here. There's little plates that go here. Just these ones. See, it's a nasty screen, especially this. This is when you talk. This is what happens when you talk right at a screen, or you're yelling, you're playing a game, you're screaming at it. This is what this is droplets from saliva and snot, and who knows what else is there. And you can see a lot of the times you'll see there's a keyboard that's imprinted there. You'll see a lot of those, especially on the older ones. That's because there is nothing really protecting it from touching the screen. So when you fold your laptop, this is what you get. The keyboard's literally, every key is there. You can like almost type on it, right? So that's what you get right there, and it is kind of dangerous in a way, because if you slam it really hard, you could damage the screen, because that'll be popping up, and as well as just closing it in general, everything like that. So we want to take these off. So we can put these back on, and it's just to fold over the backlight cables. I think let's adjust it a little bit better. Here. So you're just going to put pressure on each one. Oops. Okay. So where did you go? Okay. So we can put this one here. Let's make sure this is extended a bit. Wrap it. It's going to be basically sitting like this. It's going to go over it. Like that, so it stays out of the way. And let's actually get these parts in already, because this is an important part. We want to make sure this is all stable here on the sides. And we're just going to be doing the reverse of this. Okay. Alright, this is the only part where I kind of want to go, I guess, after we get this in. Actually, not yet, but once we get this in. Probably skip it because sometimes it gives me a little bit of trouble. Oh, okay, it was easy. Alright, so I'm going to put this up. This is here. Okay. Alright, so for this part, you want to make sure that this is aligned. If you remember how I kind of went up and under for that, you really want to do the same thing here, because it's very easy to not get this perfect. I think this sits. Yeah, this sits fine if you get it right. You just push it down and under like that. You go up, and it should sit totally fine. And the board will go down, and you want to make sure it doesn't move like that. And the whole point of having these screws here is for that, so it doesn't move. So let's just put these screws in here, because these are very important screws. And this is going to hold the piece in, and you want to make sure you do exactly the same way that you did before. So exact same screw. They are different screws that go here on at least the one side. On the far sides there are different screws. In the middle they're the same. I'm sorry, the one here is different than the one here, and the one here is the same as here, and the one here is the same as here, but they're different on each side. So I want to make sure you put them in. I think one in the middle, I think, is a little bit longer, I believe, but it does make a difference. Okay, and one more. And we can at least test for more integrity here and make sure. Okay, once this is in, this is the juice, or the juicy part of it here, because when you open this part, you don't want this, because if you don't put this part in right, with these screws especially, this part will make a creaky noise against it. So you want to make sure it bends, and like that, it's totally good. You don't want to. You want to make sure that this isn't touching against there. But if you put it down and under, like I explained, it's not going to make that creaky noise, because that's the way it's was down up, and then you put the screws in. And now we can put the other top screw in too. Like this one here for the Wi-Fi cable. Okay, that's in. Now we can do the little nitty-gritty stuff, but that's really the major points of doing this repair is mainly putting this part in. That's really the major thing, and to make sure nothing else is out, because that's the only part where I would say you can really mess up, and it would just give you trouble, and you can ruin your screen by, because the thing's rubbing against here. But yep, that's about it. So we're just going to continue back in reverse, and that should be just about it. Okay, it's all plugged in. Now let's plug in our little charging cable. Anyways, let's see. So it's turning on, fans are spinning. There's your Apple logo. Okay, so there's Apple logo. Here's the the working screen, it does turn on. It works fine. It looks pretty good. It does have Big Sur on it, even though it's not the latest one, but it does have Big Sur, which is very good. And we put it there obviously for the customer's name. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video on how to replace the LCD on the a1707 2017 MacBook Pro 15-inch. This is the space gray model. It's pretty similar to the other ones. If you watch our other videos, we did the 1706. It's very similar to that. It's pretty much the same thing, to be honest. But we're just letting you guys know the differences here. The 15-inch though, sometimes you have to plug in that power cable even after you plug in the battery to get it to turn on. Sometimes if you don't, it'll show like the battery icon and it's maybe not charging or something like that. But that's not really a concern. Just plug in your charger. Should be all good to go. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed watching and found this video very informative. Please do like if you did. Really does help us a lot. We do lots of liquid spills. We do MacBook repairs. And we also do lots of data recoveries as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Bye.